And Mrs. McCloskey, and I could show you a picture of her, and she's buxom, and so I think it was probably her, and that would have been her sitting room and her bathroom. Definitely was in charge of everything here. So I think that was her. Or it could have been M.L. Hewitt, who moved here during Prohibition and probably had roulette tables and had, all of that activity, and probably was making money. Because you said he was here to make money. I don't know that Henry Harrison McCloskey would have made money here. He spent a lot of money here.
Ah, okay.
But making money probably would have been M.L. Hewitt, because he was having, parties and he was like storing booze and, working.
And did he have girls come to entertain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Rumor has it. Yeah. So, and supposedly he died here, but there's, he just disappeared from the records. I could not find anything more about him. So that was very interesting.
Wow.
What else? Oh, you talked about the woman being sad, Mrs. McCloskey. So Mr. McCloskey passed away, and she lived here on her own, and she would have been very sad.
Yeah.
She wanted her son to finish college. He was at Stanford, and so she was able to hang on to it until he graduated, and then they moved. And she had to leave, and you said she had to leave. So I think that's Mrs. McCloskey that you're talking about.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I see a photograph of her, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. Pete McCloskey, who was their grandson, he was the congressman, from 1967 or 64, 67 to 83. But he got me in touch with his sister, and she had archives that he had never seen. So that's how he was first able to see his grandmother, which was so cool.
Wow, that is good.
And that's in the book. Yeah. So what else? There was, as far as the little girl, I think you said like teenage.
But she's a little younger than teenager, like middle school kind of.
Because when they moved in here, there were 2 daughters and Paul McCloskey, who was almost high school. But I don't know how old the girls were. So, but that's why I asked if she had lived here.
Yeah.
Because it could have been her.
Okay.
One of the daughters, or it could have been one of the daughters of. There were some renters in the 50s.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't think they were that young, because there was a boy who was young that lived here, and I ended up talking to him. He was 8 when he lived here, and he was definitely like sneaking around. He was poking everything with a stick to try to find like secret passageways.
Find the treasure?
I'd do that too.
Oh, that's what Sam was mad about.
Yeah,
He's
Sam was
messing
mad
up.
about was when he moved in. He bought the place. He never moved in because he never lived here. But all the windows were broken out when he bought the place, so he had them all replaced. Came back a week later, windows broken again.
Wow.
Whoa.
Went down to the police station and said, "What's going on?" And they said, "We know there's these kids that think that a ghost will fly out if they throw a rock through the window."
Oh my gosh.
Casper to come shooting out of the window. And so Sam threw a party for them.
Oh, wow,
He got a
smart.
bunch of pizza, and that's in the book too. It's so cool because it has all the kids, and it says "Ghost Gone," says Castle King, and he let all the kids in the county come and see that there's no ghosts, and they never came back and bothered him again.
Wow.
That was smart.
Smart.
Oh my
Very
God, he's
smart.
brilliant.
But it was funny at first, like, the mess that I had to deal with.
Right?
I'm like, okay, Sam. Okay.
I think that's what he's talking about.
Now, is there a basement down here?
There is, but it's over. Let's see, it's like in this corner. So I don't know if there's something under that area. That area downstairs was the maids' quarters. So
That's what I felt. Okay.
yeah.
So what, was
Where
that
Jeanette's
always a
office
bathroom?
is. Jeanette could probably
Yeah.
say more about that.
What about this porch out here? Was there something smaller and then stairs that went down? So the basement's over here, it could have been stairs that went down to the basement.
open. I've never seen that in pictures, but we can look at the old picture from the book and
Okay.
see if that. The windows did open out downstairs. They used to open out.
Yeah.
And there was a woman who moved in with her husband and son. Her husband died. Her son had to go live at St. Agnes, the mental institution. So she lived here by herself. But she filled that room up with plants and would open the windows and, have that. She was very pious. She wasn't, after there was a abortion doctor, then there was prohibition.
That's all the babies.
Yeah.
That's the babies. Oh my God.
That's the babies.
Yeah, but there was a lot of calamity, and then when Mrs. Eakins moved in, she just sort of brought the place down, and she rented it to the Coast Guard during World War II. So
Sailor.
that might
That's
have
the
been
sailor.
But you saw the reason I asked you what he was wearing because you saw him in white.
Yeah.
And she saw him in navy.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of those more older navy, almost wool.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
sweaters?
Yeah. Was it the kind like that has the V kind of thing? I think they had a V.
I didn't pay. I just saw the dark navy, kind of like a wool.
That's a dress blues.
Those are dress blues,
Dress
yeah.
blues.
But that would be wool.
So maybe there were two different.
Isn't that wild? They appear to us different ways.
Gotta figure out how to put this all together.
I know.
Yeah. Love it.
So you do ghost tours here, right?
Yeah. We do with the Seaside Paranormal Investigators,
Yeah.
and Laura Johnson has come through, and there's been a couple other groups.
Did they also kind of pick up some of the same thing, like we're?
No, very different. Yeah, very different.
Normally I'd be surprised, but for a place like this, there's a lot of
I was
activity.
just going to say I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, one thing that was funny downstairs was in the room where I think that's where the speakeasy was.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I say. The tables, gambling and
Yes,
stuff.
exactly. There were all these chairs lined up around every corner of the room, and they were putting their meter on it, and it was like
Wow, spiked.
They're like either
EMF.
it's filled up with every seat is taken, or the person is moving from seat to seat. Like, is it every seat?